Hello, this is Nawabi coming live for energy update from Spain. So please join me for an energy update. For anyone who is connecting with me, please drop a note and tell me where are you connecting from, and what are you feeling? What are you feeling about the energies right now that are coming? So happy spring 2026. And for those of you that are celebrating the Persian New Year, happy Nowruz. And for everybody else, just welcome. My name is Nawabi. I am a transformational coach and a soul guide for women in leadership. If you know me and we know each other, welcome. Thank you for joining. If you don't, let's stay connected. And again, please say your name and where you're connecting from. I would like to start with the energy update. First of all, before spring entered yesterday, I was feeling a few weeks very strongly about the energies that were coming forward. And I was, beginning of the year, I was being guided to offer a retreat in Spain, which is my first retreat doing in Spain. And the themes were very strong about balance and authenticity. And if you are someone who is intuitive, who is a spiritual healer, you understand what I'm saying in terms of getting a download, getting guided intuitively to do an offering, but you don't understand logically the reason behind it. You just have to follow that gut, that intuition. And I do feel very strongly about being authentic and also about having balance in life. However, just to have this retreat was kind of like I couldn't understand. And just yesterday it became so clear to me about why I had to offer this retreat by end of April, which are the themes for spring just came forward, that are balance and authenticity. So, and I was just that moment of gratitude that, you know, your intuition is always right and it serves you well. So I do want to mention about my retreat because I often forget to tell you guys about courses or retreats I offer. So end of April of this year, I do have a retreat in Spain, south of Spain, Malaga. And it's an intimate small group for 14 women. And the theme is to really call the balance and flow for your life. And if you're someone who is stuck with not feeling balanced, or you're not stepping into the flow of life and you feel you need additional support, and please join me, and we still have some space. You can sign up through the link that I have on my Facebook, or follow me on Instagram, or just simply send me a message. I will share the registration. And the themes are very strong to balance masculine and feminine energies that links us back to our ancestors with trauma, and also just to step into your full sovereign power and to really own your authentic voice as who you are and what you offer to the world. So that's the retreat. If you feel called into, please reach out. Otherwise, let's continue with the live update. So, you know, I'm in Aries, so every time when spring hits, I feel a tremendous amount of good energy, good vibes. But this one specifically, it was very special for me because 48 hours before spring, I was feeling so much amazing, great energy, very elevating energy. And And that's I'm sure a lot of other people are feeling the energy as well. And please drop a note and tell me how you're feeling right now. So the themes are balance and authenticity. So what does that mean? Right now, energetically for humanity, if you are someone who is stuck in a job that you no longer feel called to stay in it because it does not serve your mission, does not serve what you believe in, so you are going to get pushed to either leave that job or step into who truly are and what does your heart really want. And I hear from friends, family, and clients that a lot of people are going through major shifts in their work and their careers and their relationship and where they live. So people are being guided to really follow their intuition, their heart, to really be aligned with what they truly, who they are. So if you are stuck in a mundane job and, you know, a job that you hate or you feel so bored or you know that you should be leaving that job, then this is the time. The energies are very supportive. I know it's not easy when you are doing something so successfully, because I've been through that phase so much. And when you feel called to follow something else from the heart, and sometimes that could be a very uneasy feeling, and it could throw a lot of chaos in the family dynamic as well, because spouses are gonna have to be on board, but sometimes they're not, because the male energy, the logical mind catches up really later, because they're looking at it like everything's gonna change if you change your career, because the dynamic of the family is going to change. But that's the process we all have to go through in order to really follow our heart for following something that you truly feel called to. So it's for the same thing, if you're stuck in a relationship where it no longer that partner is aligned with who you are, maybe he was or she was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but right now you do not feel the connection. You do not feel like you are supposed to be with this partner. And I am hearing it across borders, different countries, different cultures. People are leaving relationships where they no longer feel aligned with that partner. Yes, the process is not easy. It's difficult. There's a lot of pain that comes with that. And there's a lot of energetics that you go through as a person to really step into your truth, to really speak your truth and say that this relationship no longer serves both of us, and you have to step outside of that. It takes a lot of courage, but then staying in a relationship where it no longer serves any of you, also it could feel very stuck. So people are leaving relationship, and if you're someone who is stuck, know that the energies are here for humanity, very supportive. The ideology of to make it till the end and you have to stay and make things work. Yes, there's some relationships that you must stay together because you're not supposed to leave that, and you have to work things through. But for others that you know in your deep down in your heart that you have to step outside of that relationship and say complete it, say goodbye to it. And so this is the time that you are going to be supported, and you have to go really inward and not to think about the society and people, how they're going to blame you, or those voices that are in our heads, from our parents or upbringing or whoever has the influence. So that's the other thing. Relationships are ending, they're completing their contracts, and they are starting a new beginning for their life. However, that's going to be the direction for them. So, and if you're also somebody who is called to go to a different location, move, because that's been happening for a lot of people. People are traveling. I know right now with all the chaos in the world is kind of not ideal for traveling, but people seem to find ways, if they allow for the security and safety. People are traveling to go to different locations because their souls are being called to do certain soul integrations. And I'm sure those that are healers, they understand the soul integration, how it works, and all of a sudden you get called to just go to a specific location and things will happen to you to integrate a soul aspect, so you become whole and more tap into your sovereign being. So let me check here, just 1 second. So the other theme that is coming forward very strongly is authenticity. So authenticity is here, and it's gonna stay here. Those are the strong themes, are truly just being yourself. It's tapping into that part of you, because each individual is here on earth for a reason, and each individual brings a unique, specific sovereignty to the collective consciousness. So when we constantly are going outward, for example, there's a lot of people that are overgiving, they are over-pleasing people, they are really going a lot outward, like their family dynamics, like moms, all they're doing is really serving the family, which I know there's nothing wrong with that, but doing it too much, where they are not connecting with themselves. They're constantly giving, and they are getting exhausted. So a lot of moms are feeling the exhaustion, and especially the nervous system of a lot of people have been really in such a bad place. On top of that, people are feeling that their threshold, their capacity for giving is really going low and low and low. And that's also a sign that the energetics are telling us, the energies of these things are telling us that we need to slow down, we need to go inward, connect with ourselves, to the heart, to the soul, instead of constantly doing things for others. I know people, clients and family and friends that are constantly in survival mode. So that is not going to serve you anymore. You can continue on that path of survival, like caring for kids, for spouses, for moms and dads, and for work, and doing so much. And if you don't stop, something is going to happen to the physical body that is going to slow down that process. And I hope that that's not you that I'm talking to right now, that I hope that you don't get into a situation where you get forced into calming down. And you hear stories, people do go through cancer, people go through major headaches, people go through stomach issues, people go through throwing up for no reason, and they can't comprehend it because the body is trying to slow you down. And people sometimes get like these flus, these colds that they can't understand. And so some people never get it. They keep going, and they're like, I don't know why I feel so sick. I can't do this. I feel I'm slowing down. But it's because your body and your soul is telling you to slow down. So if you're someone who's constantly overgiving and doing and not able to bring balance in your life, either you're going to get forced into it through physical disease, or you're going to always feel that you are this robot running around, and you'll never really enjoy life, because you have to think about, what is life all about? I mean, I was in that rat race for such a long period of time. And, a few years ago, 6 years ago, I was initiated to go through my own spiritual awakening and enlighten. And I'm so glad I went through that, because I cannot imagine to live that life today. I cannot imagine to live that life today, because so much of your internal energy changes so much. You get so connected with your soul, and you have changed the DNA inside your body that you no longer that person. I cannot imagine, working 8 hours on a job where I don't have the balance of to sit through meditation, to just have some balance, just to breathe versus just run and run and go and go and go. So when I go to America, visit my family, it's so wonderful that I visit them, but at the same time, I see that everyone is just running and running and running. And that's the cycle they're in. Some people have figured it out, and they have connected to their soul and to their mission, and to understand why they came here on earth. What is the reason? What's the purpose? They reflect, and people do get guided to really follow the path, what's best for them, to live the most true and honest version of themselves, to really be authentic. Because when you truly want to be authentic about who you are and what you want to follow in life, what you believe, and who you want to surround yourself, it takes a lot of courage, because you start to notice the people that no longer belong in your circle, the people that no longer can stand your frequency. Because sometimes I used to think about when people went through major changes, shifts spiritually and emotionally and mentally, and they were talking about it's time to get new friends, and it's time to surround yourself with new people. I always thought, I don't know what they're talking about. But I truly understand that now, because your frequency changes so much. You want to be aligned with the people that are on the same path as you are. And if you're not aligned with the right people, then you're always going to run into frictions, conflicts, and feeling out of alignment. And, life doesn't feel so great. We already have so much challenges in life, but on top of that, to surround yourself with the people that are not aligned, it will not serve you well. And in some cases, that might include friends and family that are close, unfortunately. Yeah, I respect them, I love them, but certain people that are not aligned with your frequency, you're going to have to stay away, love them from far distance, and bless them. But you don't need to be so close with those people that make you feel so yucky inside, and it's not the same frequency that you carry. So I think it's to be so honest with yourself and have the courage to speak your truth about where you are, and to start a new beginning for your life, where you might start a new career. I was talking to a client last week that she is leaving the relationship that she's been stuck, and she's starting at something that she truly feels passionate from the heart. And yes, it's not easy, but staying stuck also, it's just a horrible feeling. So it does take a lot of courage to step into that. And if you're someone, again, that needs extra help and support, there's so much right now, so much support from the spiritual communities, from coaches and people that could really help you, hold your hand and help you step into that frequency, that you're going to be in the flow, and that you are truly what you're meant to be and what you're meant to do. So I think that's very important. So if you have Any questions, any comments, please feel free to drop it in the note. And I am going to end the live a little bit sooner than normal. And thank you so much for watching, for being part of this amazing container. And if you have any questions, anything, please feel free to send your comments. And until then, please follow your heart and follow your passion and be your true authentic self to speak your truth and bring balance and harmony in your life. Thank you.